if you're watching this, there's a good chance that you have a list of things that you want to do, but you're completely frozen. And there are a million experts telling you 50 different ways how to do it. Let me tell you, you don't need a Notion template to structure your day. You just need something that works with your brain. And I am using these 3 steps that finally help me tackle this problem of prioritization. And today I will show you how you can do it yourself. As you are probably very aware, the problem is not that you don't want to plan your day or your week, but the how to do that. So let's immediately jump in with step 1, the brain dump. Let's clear our head, because right now your head is filled with noise. Tasks you want to do, small snippets on conversations you had or you want to have, or things like that, and how you feel right now. It's all there. It's all in your head, and it's really hard to cut through that. Let's quieten that. Grab a piece of paper and a pen if you like to do that the old-fashioned physical way, or open the Notes app, open whatever is easiest for you. There is no right or wrong there. And now write everything down that you think of right now. No order. No, doesn't matter if the spelling is right, no matter the grammar, whatever. Just write it all down. After a while, you will notice that you have nothing left and you actually have to dig a little bit. Okay, like what else? What else is there that I can write down? Everything is there now. It's a very, very full piece of paper right now that makes no sense, really. It makes sense to you right now. But it's not in your head anymore. For a second, breathe and think like, okay, how do I feel? How do you feel? Is the noise quieter? And ask yourself also, why do you normally hate planning your week so much? I guess it's because it's really hard cutting through all that noise in your head and trying to plan really ahead of time, to really cut through it all, to figure out what is actually important, what is just like, okay, I'm kind of cold right now, or I'm thirsty, whatever, like cutting through all that is hard. And also on top of that, we often, with our ADHD brains, we think we can solve this problem by getting a new planner because it looks nice and because other people do it, or, buy a Notion template. I'm super guilty of that. And yeah, at first it feels like we're actually getting somewhere. We bought a new tool, we use it for a bit, but we don't know how. We try immediately to sort everything, to write it into a neat list, to fill out this Notion template. But that's not how that works. You try to hold all the balls in the air while juggling, basically. You try to not to clear your head. You try to immediately form a nice, cute, orderly list out of the chaos in your head. And that does not work. We just chase the dopamine of buying new stuff in that way. Now that you completed step 1 and you've written down your page of a lot of stuff, it is important to immediately follow up with step 2, the task lists. Because if you wait for the next day, or maybe even just a couple hours, everything you just wrote down will not make sense to you anymore. Right now it does, because it's fresh out of your head onto the page. Go through your text and write down actual tasks, Ignore like small conversation snippets or whatever thoughts you just had and you just dumped on the page. Really go through it, write down tasks, make a list. Don't try to order that list right now. Just really scan your text, write down a list. When you've done that, you really, like when you really filtered out all the stuff and have just the task lists, expand there on your goals, or on your tasks. If you, for example, I take the example of a YouTube video right now, because that's, I think, really, I think I can do that really well. If I just have in there, okay, I want to finish like a YouTube video for next week. The task is finishing a YouTube video. Expand that. What does that mean? Okay, that means I have to write a script. I need to think of a title. I need to think of a thumbnail. I need to film. I need to edit. And I need to upload. Write that down. Like really YouTube video, and then next to it, all the different tiny tasks you have to do. Do that next. What else do I have written down here? Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to, otherwise I'm just all over the place, so I have some notes here. You will notice that it will already look a lot more structured. But we still don't really have the priorities, Right now, it's just a big list that looks very, very familiar to these enormous to-do lists we love to do and then never tackle. Because we love to do a long to-do list, and we want to tackle it all in one day. Often, we don't do that. That is very delusional. And then we're sad that we didn't got it done. So step 3 is kind of like the house is on fire step. Look at your list. Look at everything you've written down. Go through it with the thought in mind. If I don't do this task this week, will something bad happen? Will I get in trouble at work? Will I maybe lose a friend because I don't go to the wedding? Really go through it. Will something really bad happen? Will it really badly affect my life? When you found these tasks, color code them. Whatever. Red, blue, purple. Doesn't matter. Color code them in something that you like, something that pops out for you. Congratulations! You successfully prioritized. How does that feel? These tasks, plan them as soon as possible. Plan them for the next day or the next 2 days, 3 days, depending on how long you think that will take. It will be a little bit hard in the beginning to measure that. Don't beat yourself up for it. That way, other way around. I often only get things done when the due date is in 5 minutes. Then my ADHD brain fires up and I get into second gear and really get it done. But that's not how life should be, But this way, in the way, when we go through all these steps, our brain actually registers the priorities. And we really figure out how to understand, oh yeah, that is really important. So we understand it better. If just somebody tells us, that's kind of all over the place nonsense and we don't really get it. I'm honest, it does not work as good as the due date is in 5 minute thing, but it works good enough. It works good enough to get shit actually done. Now that you have planned out the most important thing of your day, of your week, it is time to focus on the more, parts that are a little bit more long term. These are the ones that are slightly harder to justify for our ADHD brains because it's harder. And So it's important that you pick something that is actually fun to you. Not fun when you're done with it, but fun to start, like a low barrier of entry, low barrier to start. That is important here. For me, that is going for a run. I can do that whenever. I don't need really to get ready. I just put on shorts, shoes, and I go. And it's not the most important task, definitely not, but it's something long term. It's something for my health, something that clears my head, and something where I feel more energized when I've done it. It can be something, whatever, you can be something tactile, like cleaning your house, whatever it is for you. Find that, figure out what that is, and plan that next. Because that way, what you've done, you already planned out the most important thing. Otherwise, your house is on fire. Followed by something you really enjoy. You really like doing that. And that is like, okay, now we're getting into the territory of this is not crazy important, but we already done something that is nice. Now plan out whatever you have to do in during the week. It can be something close to work. It can be something like laundry, gardening, cleaning the house, whatever. Nothing that is like crazy important, but things that have to get done. But because you already planned out something that is like really important, followed by something that is fun to you, you're more likely to engage whatever you have planned next. The next extra step, kind of like step 3.1, is also an important one. And that is also, you have to be aware that you will not be an expert at this right off the gate. You will put way too many things in your day at first, and you will be sad and annoyed when you don't get it done. And this is a habit. This is what we always done. This is why we suck at to-do lists, because we just do it we want too much, too fast. We want to push it. Let's push it, but in another way, because what we have done now is we have prioritized before we made the list. And we rationalized this prioritization in our head, which is important, because now it's not just a numbered list. Now we understand why we put certain things in this way, in this order. So now when it's the end of the day and you realized from the 4 things you wanted to do today, you finished 2. There's still one really important thing left, and your thing that is fun to you. You do put that now onto the next day. You start with the really important thing, followed by the thing you like, and then whatever comes after that. Over time, you will get better. Over time, you can do whenever you feel like you have a lot of things in your head again, do a brain dump. Put it into a list. Go through the list. Expand all the tasks into the smaller tasks. Go through them. What is important? Is your house on fire if you don't do that? And integrate that into your basically working list of to-do things. There will always be stuff that you haven't got done that day or that week or that month. But you will get better with it. Don't beat yourself up. You will get into a rhythm that will work for you. I can tell you, because this is what actually works for me. It took me almost 39 years to get behind that. But I found something that works, and I really wanted to share it with you. So be proud that you have a system now that works, that you can use to figure out your day and your week. And if you liked that video, leave a subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Take care.